you doing, everybody? This is the Pop Music Freak with a new Song Facts Countdown video. I'm up to number 934 on my list of my 1,000 favorite songs of all time. It is the first song in my countdown by the act that has the most songs in my top 1,031 songs. It is the greatest rock and roll band in history, the Beatles. Period. End of story. So we're at 934, one of 6 number one hits in 1964, Can't Buy Me Love. Let me give you the song facts and details. Can't Buy Me Love is a song by the English rock band The Beatles that was released in March 1964 as the A-side of their sixth single. It was written by Paul McCartney and credited to Lennon-McCartney partnership. The song was included in the group's album A Hard Day's Night and was featured in a scene in Richard Lester's film of the same name. Single topped the charts in the UK, the US, Australia, Ireland, New Zealand, and Sweden. In the UK, it was the fourth highest selling single of the 1960s. While in Paris, the Beatles stayed at the five-star George V Hotel and had an upright piano moved into one of their suites so that songwriting could continue. It was here that McCartney wrote Can't Buy Me Love. The song was written under the pressure of the success achieved by I Wanna Hold Your Hand, which had just reached number one in America. When producer George Martin first heard Can't Buy Me Love, he felt that the song needed changing. I thought that we really needed a tag for the song's ending and a tag for the beginning, a kind of intro. So I took the first two lines of the chorus and changed the ending and said, let's just have these lines, and by altering the second phrase, we can get back into the verse pretty quickly. And they said, that's not a bad idea, we'll do it that way. The song's verse is a 12-bar blues in structure, a formula that the Beatles seldom applied to their own material. When pressed by American journalists in 1966 to reveal the song's true meaning, McCartney stated, I think you can put any interpretation you want on anything, but when someone suggests that Can't Buy Me Love is about a prostitute, I draw the line. He went on to say, the idea behind it was that all these material possessions are all very well, but they won't buy me what I really want. However, he was to comment later it should have been Can Buy Me Love, when reflecting on the perks that money and fame had brought him. As for recording the song, Can't Buy Me Love was recorded on January 29th, 1964 at EMI's Path Marconi Studios in Paris, France, where the Beatles were performing 18 days of concerts at the Olympia Theater. At this time, EMI's West Germany branch, Odeon, insisted that the Beatles would not sell records in any significant numbers in Germany unless they actually sung in the German language. And the Beatles reluctantly agreed to re-record the vocals to She Loves You and I Wanna Hold Your Hand prior to them being released in Germany. George Martin traveled to Paris with a newly mastered rhythm track for what was to be Komm, gib mir die Hand. Sie liebt dich required the Beatles to record a new rhythm track as the original two-track recording had been scrapped. EMI sent a translator to be present for the recording session, which had been hurriedly arranged to tie in with the Beatles' Paris commitments. This was accomplished well within the allotted studio time, allowing the Beatles an opportunity to record the backing track with a guide vocal to the recently composed Can't Buy Me Love. At this stage, the song included background vocal harmonies, but after listening to the first take, the band concluded that the song did not need them. Therefore, Can't Buy Me Love became the first single the Beatles released without the characteristic background harmonies. McCartney's final vocal was overdubbed at EMI Studios, Abbey Road, London, on February 25th. Also re-recorded on this day at EMI Studios was George Harrison's modified guitar solo, although his original solo can still be heard in the background. Harrison said what happened was we recorded first in Paris and re-recorded in England. Obviously they tried to overdub it, but in those days they only had 2 tracks, so you can hear the version we put on in London, and in the background you can hear a quieter one. Helen Shapiro, a friend of the Beatles and present at the overdub session, said that Ringo Starr also added extra cymbals over the top, and that apparently this was something he did quite often on their records. Can't Buy Me Love is also the only English language track that the Beatles recorded in a studio outside the UK, although the instrumentation of the band's 1968 B-side, The Inner Light, was recorded in India by Harrison and some Indian classical musicians. Can't Buy Me Love was released as a single, backed by John Lennon's song You Can't Do That. The release took place on March 16, 1964 in the United States and 4 days later in the United Kingdom. In the US, Can't Buy Me Love topped the Billboard Hot 100 chart for 5 weeks. With the success of the song, the Beatles established 4 records on the Hot 100. Until Billboard began using SoundScan for their charts, in 1991, the song had the biggest jump to the top position, from number 27 to number 1. It gave the Beatles 3 consecutive chart-topping singles, since I Wanna Hold Your Hand was replaced at number 1 by She Loves You, which was in turn replaced by Can't Buy Me Love. The 3 songs spent a combined total of 14 consecutive weeks at number 1. This is the first time an artist had 3 number 1 singles in a row. When Can't Buy Me Love reached number 1 on April 4th, 1964, the Beatles held the entire top 5 on the Hot 100. The next positions being filled by Twist and Shout, She Loves You, I Wanna Hold Your Hand, and Please Please Me, respectively. No other act has held the top 5 spots simultaneously. During a second week at number 1, the Beatles had 14 songs on the Hot 100 at the same time, which was a record. Although nowadays, that seems to be broken every week. In the UK, Can't Buy Me Love became the Beatles' 4th number 1 and their 3rd single to sell over 1 million copies. By November 2012, it had sold 1.53 million copies total. As of December 2018, it was the 35th best-selling single of all time in the UK, one of 6 Beatles songs included on the top sales rankings published by the official charts company. Can't Buy Me Love was included on the Beatles' A Hard Day's Night album in June of '64 and the US soundtrack album of the same name, released on United Artists Records. What else we got? Cover versions. There's been cover versions of the song. Ella Fitzgerald recorded the song on a 1964 album, Hello Dolly. This version was also released as a single, reaching number 34 in the UK, spending 5 weeks on the chart. In terms of instrumentation, Paul McCartney played the double-track vocal, sang the double-track vocal, and played bass. John Lennon played acoustic rhythm guitar, George Harrison double-track lead guitar and a 12-string guitar, and of course Ringo on the drums. Now in terms of weekly charts, I mentioned all the countries where it hit number 1. For the year, it ended up ranked at number 14 for 1964. In the UK, it was the number 1 single of 1964, the biggest hit of 30 that cracked the top 100 in the UK. Amazing feat. It's number 9 for the year in Brazil. And USA, it went gold and sold 1 million copies. So there's the song facts for this song, number 934 on my list, the first of 31 songs on this top 1,000 list. It's the first one you've heard so far, but you're going to hear more of them as we go along. I'm sorry, can't deny this group's dominance and tremendous song skill, especially the period 1964 to 1969. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Please share, please subscribe. If you haven't already, please hit the bell on the right, on the bottom, in the description. This way you can find out when more videos are coming out. I'm going to post a link to a music video in the description as well if you want to actually see the video. I don't post them with my own video for a very simple reason. The copyright gods want to punish me. And this is my friend Sparky over here on the side of the screen. I don't know if you saw him peek his head out, his little kitty here. I love this guy. But anyway, thanks for watching. Peace and love. Okay, just a note, this is Sparky right here. Say hi, Sparky. Say goodbye, Sparky.